Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. This is part 14 of the 1973 Dodge Challenger Hellcat swap build. In this episode, I'll be installing the bracket that mounts the latch to the trunk door, and I'll show you how all that works. Then I'll tell you the story of how I need to fix the door instead of getting a new one. And of course, we're getting a surprise visit from Rookie. Now it's time to install the door. I'll show you the process of how I get that done all by myself. Then I move on to install the guide rails, getting ready for the roof to drop in. Then toward the end of the episode, I'll show you the condition of the car currently. I hope you enjoy the video. So first thing I did this morning was installing this bracket right here, and that is to retain the trunk when it's closed. Now in the last episode, you can see that I was lining up the trunk and everything was set, good to go. This morning I get this done so I can get the latch on and get everything to fit, and this seems like it fit really well. Now to position this is a little bit difficult because I really didn't know where it is in reference to this latch up here. So what I did was I had this piece up at the top, and then this piece was attached to this piece, so I had this hooked up to this, and then I shut the trunk. And what I did was I came in on the tail light. I go in there. You can see that I can come in and start tack welding the side. Tack weld this side and this side over here. And then when it's done tack welding, I went in and did a complete weld pass down there, as you can see. And then up here, so welded like 4 different places there. So this thing is nice and solid. And now when the trunk is shut, everything is lined up, and it pulls the trunk down, which is good. So now I'm gonna close the trunk, and it latches right in. You can see the gaps worked out real nicely on both sides. And now if I try to lift it, it's not gonna let me. What I need to do is just get a screwdriver to come in here and then just turn it to unlock it. And then later on, there's going to be a lock assembly here for me to open and close the trunk. Now, the reason for this 2x4 to be here is just because I haven't fully assembled everything yet. You can see that there's a torsion spring right here. And when this is installed, it's going to keep the trunk lid up. But since I'm planning on taking the lid out for final painting, it makes it a lot easier to take the lid out, and then I can have like all access space in here to be able to paint the inside and the outside, and then I can paint like all this pieces separately and then assemble it. So I'm not gonna put the spring on just yet. On the last episode, I showed you guys a damaged door. It's in several places actually. It folded in a couple of places in the bottom, and then there's a ding right in the middle of the door. I didn't want to deal with it. So I filed a return through Jess and get them to take it back. As it turned out that the damage is beyond repair for them, they didn't want me to send it back. They were just gonna reimburse me because they don't have any more door. This is the last door on the driver's side, and there's no more. So they just gonna return my money. Now my dilemma is that there's other door that I can order, but they're super expensive, and this is made, I forgot what the company is, but it's not Dynacone. If you get a Dynacone door, it could cost you up to like $1,500, including shipping. This one I got for like $800, so it's not bad. I didn't want to spend the extra money, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fix the door, the damaged door, and try to make it work. So I'm gonna try to do the body work now and get it all straightened out. That way I can save some money, but I practically get the door for free because they didn't want it back and they returned the full amount of money for me. So I'm just gonna spend, probably 1 or 2 days to try to get it back to the original shape, and then I can save my $800. And then at that point I can get it on the car, and then we'll continue with the project. So I'm gonna start doing the body work, and I'll show you guys how I'm gonna go about straightening out those dents and folds and things. So there's ways to do it. It's just gonna take a little bit of time, You need to have a whole lot of patience, and you gotta have a whole lot of time to get this done. To do body work, you gotta have some basic tools, and these are not very expensive. I bought this kit from Amazon, so it's this strike hammer and everything in here for $20, and it's not bad. It got like all different tips and different materials. So these are aluminum, these are plastic, and then these are Teflon. So these are like a little bit harder than plastic, and then aluminum, of course, is harder than the other two. And then all the tips are different. This one is very pointy, and then this one is not too bad. So it's like you have a variety of different things that you can use to strike. And then this hammer right here is the tip that you can replace it with whatever piece in here that you want. So there's a lot of choices. And then of course you need something like this to support the back end of it while you're striking the top end. And then it's good to have a hammer like this. And I got this from Harbor Freight. It's, you know, it's cheap, but you need it. It has the plastic ends. This one is, I think it's polyurethane, so it's, you know, it's not very hard, and it's not going to cause damage to your metal. You just strike it a little bit at a time. Those are some basic tools. Now we're going to get to work. So I'm going to do this corner first. What happened is this corner right here got folded in. Something hit it, and then it got folded, and then there's a structure behind it, so it stops right here. It's just like this part of it bent in. So first thing I'm going to do is just get a hammer, and I'm going to start hitting this right here and trying to bring it back out, and then we're going to just do a little bit at a time. Oh, hey, Rookie. Regular visit from Rookie today, guys. He seems happy today. Came out a little visit. All right, well, we better get back to work. Well, this corner is done. Done the best I could. I mean, I still can feel a little bit of dip here and there, but a light coat of body filler is going to fix all of it. I just send it back down, and it should look perfect from this end. Now I'm going to start working on the other end. Very similar story over there. It just got folded. I got this corner done. It's good enough for body work. It's not perfect, but that's all right. So I try to get it just a little bit lower than other surfaces, so I can just do a light coat of a Bondo or body filler, and then we'll get it all even out. So I use a lot of this tool just to knock all the high points out. And then let me see, this tip I use quite a bit because it's flat. So after you knock all the high points, you just go around and around. You can see little marks here and there of this tool just to get the surface to be even out. And then I use this hammer quite a bit just to knock out, you know, all the big stuff, get it to shake. And then I just want to make sure that this edge is flat. And right now it's doing really good. So I'm just going to leave it alone, and then we'll do body filler a little bit later. Well, guys, the door is done for now. I think I spent about, say, 3 hours on it altogether. So not bad at all for saving $800+ plus. So now I'm gonna get it on the car. I'm not gonna do any more body work to it until I get it on here and see how it lines up with the body lines, and then I can finish it up later. We'll do the body filler and all that stuff later. So before I get the door on, there's a couple of places that I need to repair. There's rust here. There's some rust spots down here. We're gonna have to cut it out, and then this last piece to fill in, and then at that point I can get the door on. finally got all the patching done. You can see that the spot already been filled and grinded down. None of this is going to show, so I'm not going to do too much body work on it. It's good enough. And you can see that I already threw a primer coat on it. Everything is covered with primer. This has already been filled in, and same thing here. None of this is going to show, so I'm not too worried about getting the perfect grind. But structurally, it's going to hold just fine. This area is going to show here, but this is going to be covered, so it's going to be just fine. So what I'm going to do next is to pick up the door with a cherry picker, and then we'll get it mounted on there, just like similar to the passenger side. Same procedure. First, I put 2 straps, one on each side, just so I can pull it on each side to keep it balanced. I'm going to go ahead and get it mounted on there, and I'll show you what it looked like. Okay, so what you want to do first is just to get the hinges in the door first, and then we'll mount it to the body. Guys, for the Dodge Challenger, there's 4 bolts down here, but I only can get access to 2 bolts. What I need to do is, when I get the door mounted, I need to close the door to get access to another 2 bolt, and I'm going to mount it and torque it on later. So right now I have 2 bolts up here and 2 down here. It's good enough to get it in there. So now's the time to get the bolts mounted to the body. As for the door alignment, I'll show you guys how this can be aligned. So there are like huge slot on the inside, and there's a metal piece on the inside that's movable. So this is allowed to move up and down, back and forth. So it'll let you align the door like this. Make sure that gap down there is straight. And then in here, when you loosen this bolt, you can actually get it in this way or this way to line up with the gap down there. Make sure everything is nice and tight. Same thing down here. You can actually move this in and out to get everything aligned. And same thing with this. There's a metal plate on the inside that's movable, so you can get it up and down, back and forward. And there's a ton of adjustments on this particular design, so I didn't have any trouble trying to get it aligned. Well, the gaps are looking really good, guys. Check this out. Bottom gap looks good. Side gap looks really good. The only thing is messed up is like from here all the way up to here. So I'm gonna have to straighten all this out. Look at this angle. Just curves so much, and I didn't realize this. It was a problem until put the door on. Of course, and when I look in the inside, you can see there's like a huge bend over here. So this whole thing's got to have to go out this way. This got to go this way about 1/4 of an inch or so. I think I can just, get it worked out with just getting the hammer and start knocking on this just a little bit at a time. All right, I finally got everything straightened out. You can see the gap's looking a lot better. This is all lined up. It actually only took me about 10 minutes to get this straightened out, so it's not too bad and doesn't look like anything was damaged while I was moving it or while I was trying to fix the curve. So that's a slight ridge here. So I might have to do some body work a little bit later. Maybe just get some body filler in here and trying to get everything flat. But for right now, everything looks great. So what I'm going to do next is I had these self-tapping screws on here, just to temporarily place the quarter panel. But now I know everything fit. I'm going to go in and start welding all the other places where I didn't put the screws on. And then we'll take the screws out and then we'll weld that in as well. So we'll finalize the quarter panel and then we'll move on from there. Well, this is what it looked like after I welded all the spots in and then grind it down, give it a coat of primer. So it's looking a whole lot better. So this whole thing is complete. Now you look down here, I had to come all the way down here and weld this entire piece in to get it welded to the back side. So that whole thing is done. I put a coat of primer on that as well. So pretty much the quarter panel is done here. I still got to go and weld this entire thing into the inner fender. So that's what's coming up next. So the next thing on the list to do is to put the gutter on. And the gutter would go something like that. And then the roof will go on top. The thing is though, you got to get the roof on first to mark up where the gutter is going to be, because every build's a little bit different with tolerances and everything. So I had my son come out here and we already put the roof on. I measure exactly where the gutter should be placed. So now it's time to weld the gutter on both sides. Now I'm going to have to get my son to come back out and help me to get the roof on. Then I'll weld the roof on top of the gutter, and then of course it will be welded on other places as well. Well, the driver's side gutter is done. You can see that I completely welded into the structure, and then I grind it down, and then I put in the weld through primer because the roof is going to have to be welded on top of the gutter. So this side's done. I'm going to have to go do the same thing on the other side. Okay, the passenger side gutter is also done. You can see all the welds in. I ground it down. So now's the time to put a coat of paint on this. I'm going to put the weld through paint so I can get the roof to go on top of this. Now I'm going to have to go up here and treat all this rust before I can get the roof back on. Well guys, after I put all the coats of paint on, I'm going to have to wait for it to dry, and it's getting late on Sunday afternoon. So I'm just going to call it quit for this weekend. I felt like I got a lot of things done this weekend for sure. The door's completely done on the driver's side. I got the roof tried out and it looks really good. So next week, you're going to see the roof on, completely welded for sure. And then I'm going to move on to the next step. I appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.